go ahead and dub over half of this. Essentially, I started working on this project February 17th. And what I just wanted to do was grow some stuff indoors. I've tried this in the past, but I've had some mixed success. I tried to pull some stuff out of the garden before it got too cold, but not a lot of things took. I started some seeds in a bag with just a napkin, just a moist napkin, and it really didn't start anything the week I tried it, and in fact, the seeds actually started to mold, so I actually had to take them back out and clean them off just so I could try them again. I'd been watching a lot of Jeb Gardner. He's a very interesting gardening channel on YouTube. He does a lot of hydroponics, which got me started on this. And essentially what I'm trying to do here is set some seeds over a bed. It's basically supposed to be like a moisture case. And my problem with this one is I didn't really seal it good in between the two containers that I have. So that's basically just going to be a lid to set on top. But what happened is all the seeds just dried out. So I went ahead, I took the seeds, I washed them again, and I went ahead and did the paper towel again, but instead of a normal paper towel, I tried to use a workshop towel, which actually seemed to work for some reason a lot better this time than the other times. So I just set it in that container, and I just poured a bunch of water in that container. Now, about this time, which it's been maybe a week or two, the mint that I had put in that started to root, so it was doing really good. Of course, I had some sprouts, but some of them just didn't take, and I started using rock wool as well, and the rock wool seemed to do really well. After I started getting some success with that, I went ahead and built a sort of like a little greenhouse with a shelf that I had purchased, and also some reflective insulation.
Ooh, wow, that's really in there. Alright, so I've come across my first real problem with this setup. So, this thing's doing awesome. This mint you can go anywhere. So some of the containers, some of these that I brought from the inside, or I shouldn't say the inside, but I cleaned out. They were sitting outside for months. They've got a lot of algae that's built up. So I'm going to have to transplant these guys. If I can get that though. Oh, it doesn't want to focus. There we go. Going to have to transplant these guys to some new containers that came from the inside because that algae is just, it's getting bad. So hopefully I can pull enough of these out that I can save them. These guys are doing pretty good. That guy hasn't peeked out yet. I'm going to try to use some rocks instead of using all the rock wool here. That way I'm cutting back on using rock wool. Oh gosh, everything's so red. Hold on. Ooh, that's better. I can't see red for a second. Alrighty, these guys are doing pretty darn good. Ooh, focus is bad on that. So, it's time to get these guys out of here and put them in their primary water buckets. And yes, they are just cat litter totes. I accidentally made the mistake of pouring the wrong water in though. I used the stuff with the plant food, and algae really likes that stuff. I don't know if any of these seeds are working out though. Ooh. I think that's a lettuce that's all moldy now. Corn didn't do anything. The beans have just meh. Yeah, so we'll essentially forget about this guy. I really don't like starting seeds like that anyway. Man, I got a lot of growth going on in there. These guys don't have anything but water and rocks in there. they're probably the ones I'm going to transplant first. This guy, I don't think he's got anything popping out yet. The roots haven't gone through the rock wool. I mean, he's doing pretty good, but nothing in particular. First to go is this guy. He's doing pretty good. See if we can fit him in the center here. Ooh. And I gotta take some water out of that. That's too much water. Whoa. Huh. That's almost too small. I'll probably put some silicone on that here in a second just to keep it in place. Plant number 2. Actually, let me get some light on the subject there. Ooh, yeah. These are almost too small. I should make like a little gasket or something for them. That one seemed to fit a little bit better. It's been a couple weeks, but these guys aren't looking so great. I added a little extra nutrients, and they seem to be doing a little bit better than they had been, but the ones that are in the single jars... Oh, actually, I forgot I got this taped up here. These guys are doing amazing. And they're just on the basic light. These guys down here just haven't seemed to grow. But this is the much, much better light. So I think it's actually a problem with the algae buildup. I think it's choking the nutrients out of there. Because when this light shines through, it kind of permeates through the whole thing. So what I'm going to try here, let's see, which side is it? I think it's this side. I'm going to try to see if blocking out a bit of the light there helps a bit. About the only other thing I'm concerned with is the fact that these cups that I've made have a lot of open space. So before I set that up, I might want to put some more tape or something in there to keep the light from going down under there. And see if this helps it any. Alright, so I think I'm going to change it up a little bit here. I'm going to take this guy and switch it with one of these guys down here. That way I can see whether or not it's something to do with more sunlight, less sunlight, or maybe just bad chemicals. So we'll find out. I got her swapped out, but there's a little bit of a casualty. I snapped this one nice sized leaf here, and one of the tiny leaves on the bottom broke off, but we'll see if it takes and see what happens.